Hi everyone, my name is Alejandro Rondon. I'm a pre-sales engineer at Centreon and welcome to this video. Today I want to talk about alerting because Centreon Infra Monitoring is a powerful monitoring platform designed to give you continuous visibility of your entire IT infrastructure. You can use its dashboards, maps, reports, so you can see everything that you need in one place, in one simple view. But let's face it, no one is going to be stuck to a screen 24/7. You need a system that will alert you when something is going wrong, something is needs your immediate action, so you can actually prevent a very costly downtime for your services, devices, and hosts. So that's why Centreon offers you a very flexible and robust alerting tool. And today, we are going to see about this. So let's start the video. Before we start the presentation, the how to configure, I want to go through some basic concepts. And when you're monitoring with Centreon, you have to ask yourself 4 questions. The first question is a very important one, is when. When are you going to receive these notifications? And we have to know that in Centreon, we will send you the notification when the status of the device or the host is hard. That means it's a confirmed state of the filings. So how does this work? How do we get there? So first, let's say that I have my device, my host, my service that is running, it's okay, everything is perfect. We have a status okay. We have a state hard confirmed for this status. And we have our regular check interval. Let's say we check every 5 minutes if the device, the host is working very well. But then we can detect an error. We can detect an incident. We're going to pass this status to not okay, so either a critical or warning according to the rules that you have applied. But the state is going to be soft. It's not yet confirmed. But we're going to pass to a check interval that is going to be the retry interval. So actually it can be a shorter interval. So let's say that we went from 5 minutes, our regular check interval, to now it's every minute we're going to send a check to this host, to this service, to see if everything is going well. After some retries, that actually we can also program, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retries. Usually it's 3 by default. After those 3 retries ends, we will have either 2 options. One option is that we just had one false positive or one minor error, and the device is back okay. We see that everything is regular, so the status go back to okay, and we come back to our regular checks. But let's say if in those retries, those 3 retries, for example, all of those came back with an incident, came back with an error, so in that case, we will set the status to not okay, either critical or warning, according to your rules. But we will change the state to hard, because now it's confirmed that we have an issue in this device, in this host, on this service. And we come back to our regular checks. So every 5 minutes, we will send another check to see if the status is back up or not. And it's in this moment that we will start sending a notification. Not before, because maybe just a false positive, maybe we just a quick issue. So we would prefer to send a notification when we really have an issue going on. So this is a very important concept to have in mind when you're configuring your notifications. But let's see the other ones. So then you have another 2 questions that you need to ask yourself. The first one is who? Who is going to receive the notifications? Is it a person? Is it a group of person? Is it a service? Is it a platform, another equipment, application? What? I mean, in the sense of what is going to be the object of the notification? Is it going to be a service? Is it going to be a host? Is it going to be a group of hosts? Or even with some advanced configuration, we can even have a business activity if we have that. So that's what we're going to send. And finally, the how. So basically, this is going to be the mechanism that we're going to use. Let's say that we're going to send an email message or an SMS message or a message in instant messaging platform like Google Chat or any other kind of way that we have. So those 3 questions are the ones that you have to do, you have to check, you have to answer yourself. And Centreon covers them in this way. So as I said, the who can be a contact, one person or a group of person or a service itself. The what is going to be from a service to a host or a host group. We can have a very different multiple whats that we are going to send the notifications about. And as I said, the notifications in the how is we are going to get them is through the notifications command. Centreon Infra Monitoring offers some of them by default. You have SMS, emails, and Google Chat, but you can also create your own. And that's one of the key principles of this alerting engine, is that we will give you all the flexibility to have as much clarity and independence as you require. So you are going to send the right information to the right person at the right time, so they can actually recover this device or the host or the service that is down, so your service is back up and everything as you wish. So that's why we do it. We know that it might sound a little bit complicated in the beginning, but trust me, it's very simple. You just need to ask those 4 questions for you and you have everything set up. So talking about setup, let's see how we can actually configure a notification. So first, I'm going to go to a platform. As you can see, I have here a Centreon platform, Infra Monitoring platform, in which I have some hosts that I'm checking, that I'm seeing if they're okay, if there are any issues, etc. The first part, the first question, as we saw, is the how. So the how, we do it, as I said, with the command notifications. That we have different notifications. Let's say the host notify by email. So if there's an issue with a host, we will notify by email. You can use this command to send your own. Or as I said before, we can have some notifications that are custom made, that are specific for a simple service or a simple device that you can create. So those applications, you have them. That is the command that is going to be executed in the moment of sending a notification. So let's go to the other question. The question is who. So in that case, we are going to go to a contact. I'm going to search for a user. And let's take my user, Alejandro Centreon. So here you can see that I have the notifications and I have the host service and service notifications environment. So I have my notification period. In this case, I'm going to say 24/7, but I can apply them more specific. Non-working hours, working hours, holidays, we can make your calendar. And we am actually telling which is going to be the command they're going to use. In this case, as we saw them earlier, we are going to use them by email notifications. So now my contact is configured, or my group of contacts, if we're going to use group of contacts. Then finally, we just go to the host or the host group. We can go to the host and we can say, for example, for this host, I'm going to set the notification and I'm going to send that the link contact is going to be Alejandro. So in this case, if I send this notification, everything, any issues that are going to happen with this host, with the firewall of Sao Paulo, I'm going to receive that notification via email, because that's the command that I'm using. Never forget to save and export the configuration, because you made some modification on your host, so you need to do that in case that you're doing it. And basically, that's simply, that's quickly, that's easy, is how you can configure an alert in Centreon. So we see it's very simple. There's not much complications to it, but we know that the flexibility of the notification engine also gives sometimes a bit more complications when we're saying. But now let's share with you some of our tips and tricks, of how to configure those applications. So for the first one, you can use, as I said earlier, that you can leverage the use of business activities and views in order to create the notifications. If you don't know how to create a business activity, we do have a video for you, so you can actually check on that and you can see how you can configure those. But if you have them already configured, let's go quickly in the platform and we can see how you can do them. So we can just go to the business activities. You can select any business activity, and we are going to, for example, check the notification. So we're going to say that the notifications are active, and I'm going to add a group or a contact group to get the notification, and it will be sent with the command from that application. Again, that's the simple configurations that you can use. The advantage of using the business activities is, since you are already using KPIs, but based on the amount of the different services or hosts that you are monitoring, you can actually see the real impact of those applications, and you can have a proper notification according to that. So it's a very smart way to use the notifications. Another tips that we are going to share is that you can standardize your notifications via templates. So what does this mean is that we can create one template. So for example, if we go to host templates, we can create our own notification templates, our notifications. So what this means is that we are going to create one template in which we're going to add the notification to them. So for example, in this case, I'm adding a specific user for the notifications, and every host that we apply this template for, we're going to receive the notification. This helps us industrialize the configuration, so you can have multiple templates for multiple ways, for multiple uses, and then you can have actually what is notifications by all the system, and even use the auto discovery engine. Again, if you haven't seen how to use the auto discovery engine, you can see another video. But the more important part is that you can use them and automatize all the information that you're seeing. That way, the configuration is more standardized into your whole platform, and you have all the notifications that you need. Another very important key part of notifications is to combat the alert fatigue, because as they say, when everything is alert, there's nothing is an alert. We need to do that, and this is not something mostly about the tools or the notifications or the alert that we have. It's just how we configure them, how we use them, how we see them. So for that, again, we do have some tips for you to help you reduce that alert fatigue. So the first one that we are going to see is going to be alert only in the actionable metrics that you have. You can have monitor every metrics that you wish on your service, on your host, on all the different devices that you can have, but try to add notifications only to the critical ones, only to the ones that actually mean something that you have to do, have to fix, that requires an intervention from you. If it's something just to keep a record of seeing how this metric is going, it's perfect for fitting a map or a dashboard, but not necessarily to receive an email if something is not going well. Another important part is using dependencies. What do we mean by the dependencies? Is that, for example, let's say that we have network infrastructure and we have a firewall. Then behind those firewalls, we have a server, and we are accessing that via VPN from our central database. Is not really useful to receive a notification from the host and have that host that is error if we access it through the firewall. If the firewall goes down, we know that we are not going to have access to the rest of that. So for that, we just go to notifications, and we go to host, all the hosts that we have, and we can have the notifications based on the relationships that we have. So we have the parents host, or the child host. We can declare those, and that will give us new notifications, new dependencies based on those. So again, as I said, if we know that certain host is behind another host, that host it's down, we know that we're gonna get a notification, and we don't need that many spams on our emails. It's important to notice that this is automatically done for a service and a host. So for all the services of a host, if the host is not available, you won't receive notifications from the rest of the services because their host is already not available, not joinable, so we can have the information. Another way to combat alert fatigue is by using escalations. you can use installation in a smart way. That means only notify a certain teams in a certain ways if you're going to do this notification or if a notification is still going. So how you do them is very simple. You just go again to notifications, escalations, and here you can add your own escalation. So for example, you can say for what's the linked contact groups and what is going to be the notification, how are we going to send them. So for example, it's not going to be sent once the hard not okay is received, but in a number of tests. So that's another way, another important configuration that you can do on the network to avoid the combat fatigue. You can also do some setting up downtimes, especially if you're going to do maintenance. You know that the service is not going to be available, so for that we do advise to use the downtimes. Again, to use them is very simple. You just go into the resource status and you just check the host that you know that you're going to have a downtime and set the downtime, and you can set the windows of that time just to set, for example, okay, this service is going to be down from this period of time, so there's no need to receive an alert from that. We already know that we're already on it. And finally, enable the flapping detection. So flapping is just that when a device is just going up and down, up and down, the system, the Centreon notification engine can actually detect that automatically. So it will avoid to send you a notification every time that it goes up and down if it knows that it's just a status that is flapping and is going through something errors. So that's another way to use the information as you need it, to receive the notification when you need them and have the right information at the right time. And with that, we finish a little bit everything that we have prepared for you today. I'm gonna link some documentations in this video so you can access more details of what we saw here, so you can implement it yourself. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate joining the Watch, which is the community website of Centreon, when you can actually ask questions to experts or other users about your current situation. You can, if you want to see a demo of the platform, you can contact the sales and the pre-sales team, so we can actually give you a customized, personalized demo of your platform. Or I also advise you to watch any other videos that we have here in our Centreon channel, YouTube channel, so you can see more videos of me or my other colleagues on all the subjects that you might need. So again, thank you very much for your time and see you next time. Bye.